Okay, guys, I got both controllers out of the box. Kind of wanted to show off this Sonic color, Sonic Blue, like I had mentioned. There's nothing different between these controllers at all, except for the paint scheme. So I'm going to set this other one to the side. I do want to kind of show you around this one as the actual controller goes. I mean, like I said, you can really see the D-pad at this angle, how it really concaves in, and it's a bigger D-pad than what the Pro controller is. I mean, I like the Pro controller, and there's a little bit of a curvature, but not as much as this. And I find with my bigger hands, I kind of enjoy this D-pad a little better, especially like Mario 35. Another thing you look at, these analog sticks are complete plastic, but they have a plastic ridge going across around them, and they're so comfortable. Whereas your Pro controller has more of like a rubber membrane, and also with the Pro controller, this has more of a rubber texture on the side. Some people say it kind of wears off, but I really like how the Pro controller feels with this. And let me know in the comments below if this being all plastic, is that going to bother you? It doesn't bother me. I'm used to all plastic controllers growing up as a kid. So let me know in the comments below if that's a deal breaker. Again, at this angle, you can really see the button layout on these. These don't stick up quite as high as what the Pro controller buttons stick up. You know, less room to travel, but you know, that's okay. I mean, I've gotten pretty used to it. But you also will notice that between version 1 and version 2, the curvature in the ZR and the LR are pretty much spot on compared with the Nintendo version, and actually that made a big difference with this controller. I did want to show you guys how to pair this controller. It's really simple. I got my Pro controller paired up, so just go to like you normally would to your controllers, and then go down and then do your change grip order. All you have to do, if you look at the back of this controller, and also in your instruction manual, but if you notice this, you've got where it says switch pairing, home plus Y, and then PC and Android is home plus A. So it's pretty cut and dry. You just hold your home button, because you got your minus, your plus, capture, home, and then this is turbo / auto fire. But just hold your home and Y button, and you'll notice your LED starts to scroll up and down. It'll find your switch, hit your L and R. Just let that sit there and do its thing for a second. It is actually going to find it, and then as you see, it's pretty quick, and then now you're paired. Now, there's two things. You can shut your switch off with the controller by holding your home button like you would your Pro controller, or if you want to, you can actually power this off. I just held the home button for like 5 seconds, and it will actually shut itself down. I wanted to do this kind of for you guys so you can see by quick pairing it, because once you do pair this with a system like your console, the only con to this is it doesn't like actually support multiple consoles. So if you pair it to, say, an Android device or another Switch, you'll have to go through that repairing process again. But if you have it paired to the same console all the time, all you have to do is turn the console on by holding a home button until your scroll button goes down, or until your lights go down. It will quick pair itself to the console, and here we are paired. You'll get a vibration knowing that it's actually paired. Now, the thing is, when you want to look at it, one of the things in the book they recommend to do in your instruction manual is to actually calibrate the controller. I, fortunately, out of all, we've got 5 of these now, and I have never had to calibrate, but I do kind of want to show this off to show you the tightness that it has between the Pro controller. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on while we're doing this for player 2. But go down and go over to your settings, and then from your settings button, you want to go down to your controller and sensors, and then from here, go to your calibrate control sticks and click down on your L3 button. We'll show this one off. There's not much dead zone at all. I mean, very slight movements actually move this really good. And as you can see, it doesn't. This is straight out of the box. There's no calibration needed. That's your L3. We'll do your R3 on the NexiLux, and you can see it responds quite well to every button push that I'm doing here. And for fair comparison, I want to go ahead and do the Pro controller too, so you can see. But if you L3 this, it's the same process. I mean, obviously the Pro controller is a little bit smoother, but not enough to make me like, oh my God, do I need to spend $70 on my kid's controller? I totally disagree. Now, fighting games, maybe. But again, you got a $30 controller here. The light white and gray is $27.83 last time I checked, and the version 1, the black one, is $25. So yeah, I do think it's worth that value. Also, guys, what I want to show and go over a little bit too while we have it set up in the screen pairing mode is kind of show you some different features and functions that you can do. And the instruction manual is quite, it kind of goes through all the different products. So, I mean, feel free to, pause the screen if you want. If you buy them, it comes with the book itself. But if you look here, you got PC mode. With PC mode, it has 2 different versions, just like an Android. You can do X input and you can do D input. It will default into X input mode, so LED 1 and 4 will be lit. If you keep pressing the minus and plus sign for 3 seconds, that will then switch it to D input mode, and then LED 2 and 3 will be lit and letting you know in D input mode. And it works that same way with Android discs as well. Now, what's really functional about this controller, you know, it has turbo and it has auto, but they're adjustable. Think about this for 1 second. Is on a turbo function, you were to hold a button and you press your turbo, and then you continually press your button, it'll give you turbo mode. What I'll do real quick while I'm talking about it, let me go ahead and start up a game of Mario 35. And what we shall do on this situation is kind of point that out. I want you to see the fact that it is really easy to adjust this turbo mode. While this is booting, what I will do, also what's also adjustable in this is your turbo speed. Basically how to do that is with, you got 3 different settings of turbo speed. You have 5 shoots per second, 12 shoots per second, and you have maximum of 20 shoots per second. Well, to increase turbo speed, while you're in the manual turbo mode, which is the first turbo, what you want to do is hold your turbo function button down for 5 seconds and push the right joystick up, and that will speed up your turbo mode. Now, also, if you want to decrease your turbo mode, you hold this button for 5 seconds and hold down your right analog stick, and that will actually decrease turbo mode. Now, it does that per function on each one time, so for each level you're at. Now, the other thing I want to stress to you, you can actually adjust the vibration level. By doing so, you get 100%, 70%, 30%, and 0. So to do this, you want to press and hold your plus sign button, and you want to push at the up button of the direction pad simultaneously for 5 seconds like so. That will increase it each different vibration intensity. For each time you do that, it does it at a level. And then for the flip side, if you want to decrease your vibration intensity, you want to hold your minus and press up on the directional pad, and that for 5 seconds, that will decrease your turbo mode. And again, that's for each time. Now to kind of focus on that, your turbo button works on anything as far as your settings in the game were to go. So that's actually a good feature and function. And then for a $30 controller to have adjustable, it's to me is pretty impressive. And we're not even going to mention the fact to show off the NFC, which we will do that with the game of Skyrim here in a moment. I started this match that way I can kind of show off some turbo mode functions for you. That way you can kind of see how this does work. Now, while that's going on, charging it, the indicator light will show you 4 things. If it needs charge, the 4 LED lights will flash slowly. A full charge, the LED lights will be turned fully off. If it's a low battery, the whichever gaming controller you're on will start to dim and flash quickly to let you know, hey, you're about to lose battery life. But here to show this off in the D-pad with Mario 35, it's a great controller. Now that we got this out of the way, what I want to do is show we got regular button. If you hold this and B, now you got turbo. If you do this again in B, it's auto. And then off again, as you can see there. So, I mean, I have no qualms with the button control series. And no offense, guys, I didn't really get into that game to kind of show off my gameplay footage. I just kind of wanted to let you know you have auto fire and you have different turbo functions. Now, let me pause this video. I do want to see Skyrim boot up, and then once I get into the game, I'll restart this video. Okay, guys, I've got Skyrim booted up here. 2 things I wanted to show off with the Skyrim game is the fact is, one, I wanted to pull the bow back. As you can see, the motion controls work flawlessly. I mean, there's hardly any input lag when you do the motion controls, and it works just beautifully. But another thing about this controller that I do like is the fact you can use your amiibos. Now, I don't really collect amiibos, neither do my kids. We do these cards that you can find on Amazon, like this is the Breath of the Wild set that we bought for $24. There's other sets on there, but this does function with this. So to do this in Skyrim, what you would want to do is pull up your spells, go to your magic, and then go down to power, and then make sure you've activated your amiibo. And if you have, you see this black triangle that appears. Basically, have that equipped to your spell hand, and then go ahead and cast that. And you can run it over the top or the bottom. But the cards, I just run it over the bottom. It takes just a second. As you can see, the NFC function works just fine. Every game I've tried it on, it does work. So again, for a controller that ranges $30 and under, I'm pretty impressed that the only thing it doesn't do is HD rumble and to wake the system. Guys, with that being said, I know this video's kind of been lengthy. Let me know, is there other controllers out there that you would recommend for the Switch and the Switch Pro that's under the $40 price range? I mean, my favorite controller outside of this would have to be the 8-bit DOS series because they do a dang good job as far as retro style gaming. And the SF Pro is one of my favorites. I kind of dig out on the SN30 Pro a lot and the SF30 Pro because of the fact I like playing those on Mario 35 and Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo. But really, guys, for a quality controller that you can give your kids, again, that's a little bit smaller than the Pro controller, let me know in the comments below kind of what you think. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give me the thumbs down. Leave some comments in the below. Let me know if there's other controllers out there I can do a test review on or some controllers that you do recommend. At the end of the day, guys, thanks for tuning into the channel, and I look forward to you again on the flip side.